The sculpture, Cloudgate, or affectionately referred to by Chicagoans as the Bean due to its shape, was one of Chicago's most beloved public attractions. Its glorious design and seamless mirrored surface reflected our city's beautiful skyline, as well as the joy on the faces of millions of visitors a year. But nobody imagined this once greatly treasured monument would soon be responsible for so much death.
Brian Rivera was the first to speak out about the immense danger of the bean. He was an esteemed high school science teacher and a dedicated family man.
His son, Max, was Brian's life. He absolutely adored Max and absolutely loved being a father. You know, they were always together all the time, you know, and they were always so happy. But when Max got sick and suddenly passed 2 weeks later, Brian's world just collapsed. And his job. Brian always blamed the bean for Max's death, and I don't know. I just always felt sorry for him and his family.
Max's unexplainable death drove Brian to tireless hours of investigation and research. He would eventually conclude that the bean was housing an extraterrestrial virus, but his public plea fell on deaf ears.
The bean is not safe. I beg you, stay away. Do not touch the bean. The bean is not what you think, people. Please, read this pamphlet. The bean is not safe. Stay away. I beg you, please, do not touch the bean. Keep your hands off of the bean. The bean is not safe. Yes, I beg you, people. The bean is not what you think. Stay away. Do not touch the bean.
Brian Rivera was as invisible as the alien virus that eventually infected and then killed nearly 19,000 people in the Chicagoland area. He not only discovered the fatal consequences of touching the Cloudgate barehanded, he also determined the associated symptoms as well.
Okay, hey, it's Brian Rivera again. So I want to talk about this unexplained phenomenon of this C-shaped rash that's been appearing on the victims' wrists who have touched the bean. Now, I have reviewed countless records documenting this C-shaped rash, and it is exactly identical to the victims' rashes who have touched the bean. Now, although the medical community has dismissed the rash as some sort of allergic reaction, I think that it is exactly the same as the Egyptian symbol Ka, meaning soul or spirit.
It was considered when someone died, they met their Ka. A person's Ka would continue to live on after their body died.
The bean was eventually quarantined, and the CDC determined that the mirrored steel plates that surround it had become increasingly toxic and hazardous over time. But the really interesting thing is, the official report has never been released to the public.
Although a monumental victory for the biggest opponent of the bean, Brian Rivera was nowhere to be found, as if he vanished into thin air. The last known footage of Brian Rivera was captured on a digital camera by a tourist, Alexander Isaacson.
Hallo Mama, hallo Papa. Also schöne Grüße aus Chicago. Was ihr da hinten seht, das ist die Bean. Die ist super berühmt, super geiles Ding. Also
Yeah. I remember the guy from the video, from the YouTube video. This crazy bean guy. Like, so I recognized him right away. He was crazy. Like, I mean, like he was there like yelling at everybody, like, "Yo, stay away, don't touch the bean!" Wow, he was crazy. And then, like out of nowhere, like the security guards, like, wow, like really all in black and stuff. Like, they were really scary, yeah. And they grabbed him and they escorted him away. It was like, wow, I didn't even know the bean had security.
Whether you believe our city's most beloved sculpture became a deadly playground of toxic chemicals or a Trojan horse for an extraterrestrial virus, two questions still remain. Where is Brian Rivera? And who were the two men who took him?
Mm-hmm.